series. Today we are going to discuss on the vectors of heart, especially the QRS vector. What do you mean by vector of the heart? It is the sum total of the direction and magnitude of the electrical activity of the heart. In the last class, we have discussed about the conducting system, the lead systems, and the normal waves and intervals. This session is mainly on the vector of the QRS in the frontal plane axis. So when we say about the vector, it is in the frontal plane axis. And this is the ECG machine about which we have already discussed. And basically, the ECG machine is a modified galvanometer. And as described earlier, the electrical force, if goes to the positive pole, this will produce a positive deflection. This is something we should remember. If the current goes away from the positive pole or towards the negative pole it goes, this will produce a negative deflection. By remembering this, we will calculate the axis of the heart. By axis, we mean the direction of the sum total of the electrical force of the heart. I hope it is clear to you. And we have learned the activation of the heart. The depolarization of ventricles and atrium produces the waves in the electrocardiogram. And this is what I already mentioned. When the electrical forces are towards the positive pole, this will produce a positive deflection. If the force is away from the positive pole, this will produce a negative deflection. Okay, so by this, knowing this, we calculate the axis of the heart. So to learn about the axis, we should know something about or refresh the knowledge about the lead systems. Last time we discussed the lead system. Lead 1 is represented like this. So this is the lead 1. You can take the lead 2 from here and keep it in such a way that this bisects the lead 1. So this is lead 1, this is lead 2, and you take this lead 3 and keep it in such a way that it bisects. So this produces the triaxial reference system, and the heart is sitting here. And the majority of the electrical force the heart is produced by the left ventricle. So the sum total of electrical force will appear to be going from right to left in this direction or somewhere in the direction of the lead 2. This also we have discussed. So this is the limb leads. So limb leads, as we know, this records the electrical activity looking into the heart in the frontal plane. So in the analysis of the vector, we are looking in the leads which are in the frontal plane. So I will draw once more. All of you, please try to draw this and learn. So this is lead 1. This will be lead 2. And this will be lead 3. And we know this will be the foot. So this will be the AVF. And this will be the AVL. And this will be the AVR. So I will report the positive ends of the lead. So this is lead 1 positive, lead 2 positive, AVF positive, lead 3 positive, AVR positive. And remember, the heart is in the center. The massive electrical forces of the heart is going. Initially, the septum is depolarized from left to right. So initial electrical forces are from left to right, followed by the sum total of the electrical forces are going in the direction of the lead 2. This is the basis of the calculation of the electrical axis or the vector of the QRS. Hope it is clear. So the smaller the electrical forces total, when we look from one side or look from various leads, appear to be coming or going in the direction of the lead 2. Okay. So there is, now it is just for 360 degrees. Conventionally, lead 1, this point is taken as 0. And anything above this line is taken as negative. And always remember, this has nothing to do with the polarity of the leads. That is different. For electrical activity, above this line is considered negative and below is positive. So this is 0. This end of AVR will be plus 30. This will be plus 60. And this will be plus 90. Here will be 110. This will be 180. So this is how you, okay. And going above also, you can go, this will be minus 30, minus 60, minus 90, 120, 150 and 180. So this total 360 degrees are divided by various leads like this. We'll go to the next. So as I have told, the electrical forces are appearing or going from right to left in this direction. So lead 1, this is the positive pole. Lead AVF, this is the positive pole. So normal electrical force, you should get a recording like this. That is, lead 1 should be dominantly positive and AVF should be positive. So this axis will be normal. Hope it is clear to you. I will repeat once more. Lead 1 is the potential difference between the right upper limb and the left upper limb with the positive pole on the left upper limb. So suppose that when the current is going from the or towards the positive pole, so lead 1 must be positive. So you can see the electrical force is going in this direction and the QRS complex should be dominantly positive. Okay, and you see here will be the AVF. The AVF also, but most of the deflection is going in the direction of the AVF, so it should be positive. So 1 and AVF dominantly positive. You can say that ECG for that heart is having a normal axis. Hope this is clear to you. So this is the picture showing lead 1 should be positive. So this is lead 2, and again you can see lead 2 is more positive than lead 1. And in lead 3, there can be little equiphasic deflection because, so this is the lead 3, the heart is here, and the current is going, initial part it is towards and later part is going away. So that is why in lead 3, sometimes you may get a testicle also. So you can ignore this for the time being. Hope this is clear to you. So what is normal axis? Normal axis, so this is lead 1, this is AVF. So these are the two leads you take, it will be easy to identify. So lead 1 should be positive and the AVF should be positive. So this will be normal axis. Or you can say that the electrical force is in this quadrant, that is the lower right quadrant. Take another case, suppose the lead 1 is positive, AVF is negative. So what does it mean? The current is going away. So lead 1 is positive, AVF is negative. That means it is going in this direction. Hope it is clear. So as the current is going away from the positive pole, you are getting the negative deflection. So this will be in this quadrant, right upper quadrant. So this is what is called the left axis. So left axis means the electrical forces are in the upper quadrant, on the right upper quadrant, and that is minus, mainly taken as minus 30 to minus 90 is considered as left axis. So you can see the normal axis, even though we say it as in the right lower quadrant, up to minus 30 can be normal, minus 30 to plus 110 may be normal. So for approximation, we can say the right lower quadrant, that is 1 is positive, AVF is positive, it is normal axis. 1 is positive, AVF is negative, it is left axis. It's not an accurate thing, but it is a rough estimate. Take the another case where lead 1 is negative. So what does it mean? The current is going away. So you will get lead 1 is negative. So this will be the going in this direction. And see, the AVF is positive. That means the current is going in this direction. So this will be in this quadrant. So what is this quadrant? This quadrant is right axis. So in right axis, what will be the finding? Lead 1 will be negative. That means the current is going away from the positive pole. So this will be in this direction. AVF is negative. AVF is positive means it is in this quadrant. So classically taken as 110 to plus 110 to 180 is taken as right axis. Take another example. Lead 1 is negative. That means current is going in this direction. AVF is negative. So what does it mean? The current is going in this direction. So this is called the north-west axis or extreme axis deviation. Why it is called extreme axis deviation? Because if you can say it is an extreme right axis deviation or extreme left axis deviation. So it may be coming from extending here. So, and we will learn about this in detail in some other session. So just for the sake of understanding the axis, this is called the quadrant approach. So for the quadrant approach, it's very simple. You need only two leads, lead 1 and AVF. Lead 1 positive, you think that its current is going in this direction. It is AVF is positive, the current is going in this direction. So it is in the right lower quadrant, this normal axis. This is minimum thing we should remember. As mentioned, this is called the quadrant method. Hope it is clear to you. One more method is called the isoelectric lead analysis. During the last session, we have discussed whether the current is going towards the positive pole, this will produce a positive deflection. The current is going away, this will produce a negative deflection. If the current is perpendicular to the lead, suppose it is coming perpendicular, the initial part it is positive and the later part it is negative, so this produces a equiphasic deflection. So what do you mean by equiphasic deflection? When the electrical forces positive and negative are of equal, that is R wave and S wave are almost equal, that is called a equiphasic deflection, that is both phases it is equal. So what is the inference? The electrical forces are going perpendicular to that lead where you are getting a equiphasic deflection. So you take the converse. That is, if the lead 1 is having an equiphasic deflection, so to say this is lead 1 is having an equiphasic deflection, the meaning is that the current is going in this direction. So the axis will be in the direction of the AVF. So you can say it is plus 90. That is how you calculate. Okay. So whichever lead you get equiphasic deflection, you will take the lead which is perpendicular to that, and that is how you identify. So to repeat, this is the straight line, is lead 1, that is taken as 0. Each lead, that is the hexaxial system, minus 30, minus 90, minus 120, minus 150, minus 180. The other direction also you do like this, plus 30, plus 60, plus 90, plus 120, plus 180. That is how the measurements are taken. So this we have already explained only just for repetition. Lead 1 positive means this comes in this, that is this half. AVF is also positive, that means it is in the lower half. So combined together, that will be in the right lower quadrant. Hope this is clear. Just like that, you can identify the axis in a rough estimate in very simply just looking at 2 leads. Okay. This is a summary which already we have said in detail. You can draw these pictures and then try to understand. It's not easy to remember by heart. So lead 1 positive. You remember, okay, this current is going in this direction. AVF is positive. Okay, that means the current is going in this direction. So this is right lower quadrant. Okay, you can see this picture. This is normal axis. Okay. Lead 1 is positive. That means current is going in this direction. AVF is negative. That means the current is going in this direction. So this is in the left, right upper quadrant. So it is left axis. We will see. Okay, this is left axis deviation. 0 to 90 it is written, but actually it is minus 32 up to minus 30 can be normal. Then take the next thing, lead 1 is negative. So the current is going in this direction. AVF is positive, that means, so this will be in this quadrant. So this is the right axis deviation. Lead 1 is negative means the current is going in this direction. AVF is also negative means it is going, the current is going away from the positive pole of the AVF. So it is in this quadrant. So this is the northwest axis or extreme axis deviation. Hope the points are clear to you. So by just looking into 2 leads, you can identify the axis as a rough estimate. Little more accurate method will be the equiphasic deflection, but to identify the perpendicular lead, you should be thorough with the x-axial reference system. So here you can, this is what I told you as the equiphasic deflection. That is, the R wave and the S waves are almost equal. So that means the current is going to, so suppose this is lead 1, the current is going perpendicular to that lead. So initial part it is towards the lead 1 and the later part is away, and so you get a deflection like this. I think you understood the concept of the equiphasic deflection. So here you can look at the ECG. So which is the lead 1 is dominantly positive, lead 2 is positive, lead 3 is positive, AVR is negative, AVF is negative. So this is the lead which is equiphasic. So now we can identify the equiphasic deflection. So you can see that the AVL is the equiphasic, the lead with equiphasic deflection. And so we look at the, identify the AVL. So this is AVL. So which lead is perpendicular? You can see this is the lead 2 is perpendicular. So the electrical force will be, so for identifying, the problem is whether it is perpendicular. This can be plus 60 or minus 120. So how will you identify? You look at the AVF. So look at the AVF is positive. That means the current is going in this direction. So this is in the, this will be the minus plus 60 will be the axis. Hope it is clear. So I will repeat once more. So here AVL is the equiphasic deflection, the lead with equiphasic deflection. So the current is going perpendicular to the AVL. So this is the AVL. So current will be going, this is the lead with the perpendicular to the, so this is lead 2. One end of lead 2 is plus 60 and the opposite end is minus 120. So in order to identify whether it is 60 or 120, you look at the AVF. So here you can see the AVF is positive. So the current is going in this direction. So it is towards this pole. So exact axis is plus 60. So that is advantage of identifying the equiphasic lead and identifying the axis. We can know the degree. There are different other ways to exactly calculate or measure the axis. That is beyond the scope of this lecture, and we will not be discussing that. So equiphasic deflection, so that this is what I told, equiphasic deflection, R wave and S waves are equal. The quadrant method we have described in detail. Just to remind, I will repeat once more. So identify the lead one. In lead one is dominantly positive. So the deflection is in the direction of lead one. Take lead two, AVF. AVF is also positive. So the direction the current will be in this direction. So this comes under this quadrant. So this normal axis. Hope it is clear to you. So let us see what is the axis of this case, which also we have already seen this. So this is the AVL is the lead with the equifacial deflection. So the identify the AVL. So this is AVL, and the lead which is perpendicular is lead 2. So as the AVF is positive, so look at the AVF. AVF is positive, that means the current is in this direction. So plus 60 will be the axis. So now let us see few examples. So in this ECG, look at the lead 1. So lead 1, you can see it is dominantly positive. So what is the direction? The current is going in the direction of the lead 1. So that is why you got a positive deflection. Now we take the AVF. So see the AVF is predominantly negative. So what does it indicate? The current is going away from the positive pole of the AVF. So the current is going in this direction. So what is the quadrant? This right upper quadrant. So this is an example of left axis deviation. Is it clear? So you can see this comes in this, and so it is a left axis deviation. Hope this is clear to you. So why are telling it is left axis? Because lead 1 positive in lead 1 and negative in AVF. Okay. Let us see the second case. So here again look at the lead 1. Lead 1 is predominantly negative here. So what does it mean? The current is going in the direction of the opposite to the positive pole. So you draw the lead 1. This is the positive pole. The current is going in this direction. So that is why you are getting the negative deflection. So the current is going in this direction. Take AVF. So where is AVF? So what the AVF is showing a positive deflection. So what does it indicate? The current is going in the direction of the positive pole of the AVF. So where is the? So here the AVF is positive, so in this direction. The lead 1 is negative, so it is in this direction. So this is in this quadrant, that is the lower quadrant on the left side. Okay, so that is an example of right axis deviation. So now we are clear regarding right axis and left axis. So in summary, today we have discussed the concept of vector. So what is vector? Vector is the sum total of the electrical forces viewed from different angles. When you are seeing in different angles, the sum total is the vector. And the axis of the heart is mainly we are looking at the axis of the QRS complex in the frontal plane axis or in the frontal plane. So the electrical force in lead 1 and AVF is conveniently taken, and from this you can calculate the normal axis. There are two ways of calculation. One is the equiphasic method and another is the quadrant method. There are other methods by which we can exactly calculate. That is beyond the scope of this lecture. And in the next module, we will be discussing about the normal ECG, the normal waves and the intervals. Thank you. See you again in the next session.